Morning Glory, and welcome to Lisa Ann Can. I'm Lisa Ann. It's a beautiful day out here today, and I wanted to show you the blue sky. You might want to know why that matters. Well, today I'm going to attempt to make divinity. Divinity is very challenging, and it can only be made on low humidity days. Follow along with me and let's see if we can make it happen. Welcome back. Lisa Ann can't, at least not on the first attempt, make divinity. This is my attempt number 2 at making homemade divinity. So I've made a few changes. First of all, I recommend Karo, but when it's in short supply, as it is during this season, my husband found Food Club brand. And if you'll notice, when you choose a off-brand corn syrup, that it does not have water listed in the ingredients. So just a word of caution. Instead of doing half a cup of water, I'm doing half a cup minus 2 tablespoons, because this is the South. After all, the less water, the better. So here we go. 2.5 cups of white sugar, 2 eggs separated, and a teaspoon of vanilla. So let's get started. Heavy 2-quart saucepan. Mix the sugar, 1/2 cup of Karo or light corn syrup, water, also I think the last time I had it too hot because I'm not used to my new gas stove yet. It says medium high heat, but I am going to do medium low. All you do at this point is mix the ingredients, cook and stir until it comes to a boil. Alright, we're boiling. I'm going to clip the candy thermometer onto the side of the pan. I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes because my book says that's about how long this part should take. So while it's boiling, there's no need to stir. I'm going to step over to the mixer and beat my 2 egg whites until they're stiff. So this time I'm also going to test it in a cup of cold water. It says on my candy thermometer that it is at the softball stage now. When I tested my thermometer, it was about 5 degrees off, so I'm just going to make sure. The bit that I dropped in there did not flatten like it should have in the softball stage. I had to actually press down on it to get it to flatten, so that means the mixture is hotter than my thermometer is indicating. So at this point I'm just going to keep testing it every few minutes. 260 is the recommendation, hardball stage. It's already making threads that are pliable. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. Turn it off and remove the candy thermometer. Last time I waited too long, let this cool down, and I had this on high. I'm going to do it on low because when I had it on high, it flung and all the stuff stuck to the sides. I don't want that to happen this time. I've got my timer set for 3 minutes. That's how long it should take for me to gradually pour this in. So I didn't get quite as much sticky on the side as I did last time. At this point, you add the vanilla, mix it in, then I'm going to turn it up on high for about 5 minutes. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. It's not looking great. It says do a test. I can tell. Ooh, but maybe spoonful, mound it, and if it holds its shape, it's kind of floating downward, so I'm going to beat it for 1 more minute. Starting to look opaque, so I'm going to try again, even though it's only been 30 seconds. Oh, it's looking beautiful. Maybe, just maybe. Oh yeah, I can tell by the texture. So now I have to work fast to spoon it out. Oh, it turned out such a great texture. I like to put a pecan on top of each one. I'm so happy. Lisa Ann can make Divinity. I only failed 1 time, and I learned some things, made some adjustments, and I will include the recipe that I use below with the adjustments for those who are living in the South. I've already eaten so much licking my fingers and cleaning the bowl. Wowza. So, my outro Bible verse says, Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. And I do not intend or mean to belittle the Word of God at all. Paul was not talking about being able to make divinity, but it is connected in a way. So first, if you'll go to Philippians 4:13 and see the context of what Paul was saying, just read the whole passage beginning in verse 10. But I rejoiced in the Lord greatly that now at the last your care of me hath flourished again, wherewith ye were also careful, but ye lacked opportunity. Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am therewith to be content. I know both how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. So Paul suffered a great deal to make the gospel of grace known to the world. And just a quick look in 2 Corinthians chapter 11, some of the things that Paul talks about that he went through. He was comparing himself to some other false ministers that were claiming to be ministers of Christ. But in verse 23, he says, are they ministers of Christ? And he says, I speak as a fool. I am more in labors more abundant, in stripes above measure, in prisons more frequent, in deaths oft. He was stoned to death. Of the Jews, 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one. That's 195 stripes that he would have had scars on his back from. Thrice I was beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. Thrice I suffered shipwreck. A night and a day I have been in the deep. And he goes on to talk about all the perils that he's been in. So when he says, I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me, that is what he's talking about. Okay, and one more verse along the same lines in Romans chapter 8, verse 18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. He's speaking of the resurrection and what we have to look forward to as believers. Divinity is called divinity because it's divine. It's compared to the sweetness of God and of heaven. So I hope you'll try the recipe, and thank you for watching.